Welcome back to Educator.com. Today's lesson is on dates and times. So today's lesson is overall, how do we represent a date and time in Ruby? We're going to go over the components of a date and time and the three classes, time, date, and date time. These are the main classes for the date and time functions. The first thing we're going to look at is the time class. With the time class, you can represent date and time. And what this is, it's a class that's a thin layer over the system date and time provided by the operating system. Depending on your operating system, some platforms might have issues representing dates before 1970 or after 2038. If you're on a 32-bit machine, there's more prone to having these issues. And the time class is mostly you want to use this for current dates and times. For like time, what time is it now, and the day it is now. This is the recommended usage for it. What are the methods of the time class? The most common you use is the now. What now does is it returns a time object initialized to the current system time. So to call this, all I do is use time.now. Time.now will retrieve the current time from your system. The next method we'll look at is at. What at does is you pass in a value of the time, and this creates a new time object with the given time you pass in. Time is the number of seconds from epoch. So if I do time.at with 0, notice the time it's going to give me is 1969, December 31st, 4 o'clock, and here's your time zone. And if I pass in this huge number here, let's see, say 1.2 billion seconds, it's going to get me 2008. And I can also do time.at and call it time.now, which will give me the current time. Then I use 2i to convert it to number of seconds and integers, and then I can pass it and it'll get me the exact same object essentially. But one question you might have is, what's this number of seconds from epoch? Let's take a look at that. So what I'm going to do is I'm loading up here is the Epoch Converter, Educator.com, and you'll see that if I actually reload it, actually in real time, you notice it tells me the Unix epoch time, and it's this huge number. We're in the billions there. But you can also convert this epoch to a human readable. So you take this number, you can click this timestamp, and it'll say from my time zone right now it's Monday, October 15th from that timestamp. Now what is this number essentially? Go down here. What is epoch time? This is the Unix epoch or Unix time or POSIX time or Unix timestamp. So better known as a Unix timestamp. And this is a number of seconds that has elapsed since January 1st, 1970 at midnight. This is a very common timestamp that's used. And it doesn't count leap seconds. Literally speaking, the epoch is Unix time 0. Epoch is often used as a synonym for Unix time, and many Unix systems store this as a signed 32-bit integer, which might cause problems on January 19, 2038. So there you have it, and you go down here, you actually see in Ruby it says just called time.now. Convert to epoch time.now.2i. So let's put here, this is actually Unix time. I like it to call it Unix the Unix timestamp though. And let's